So in this video, I want to do a brief review of the Amazon Basics 16-foot or 5-meter tape measure. This is a budget tape measure sold on Amazon. This one cost me, I bought two of them for about $6.50 each. I had bought a bunch of no-name ones that had been, hit and miss, some better than others. And then I wanted to see how little I could pay just to have a bunch of these things lying around and never be without a tape measure. An equivalent Craftsman might cost you, I don't know, between $8 to $10, maybe a little bit more online. This one was a little bit over $6, so quite affordable. And I've been using it for a few weeks, and I would say so far so good. It hasn't had any really major problems. It's taken a couple drops, but can't really complain so much. So I just wanted to deliver some thoughts in this review. So it's on the light side. This thing weighs, I don't know how often you measure your tape measure, your tape measure, but this one weighs 180 grams. So it's on the light side for a 16-foot tape measure. And that's largely because I'm sure the internals are underbuilt, but it's more that the outer casing is quite light. It's entirely plastic. This sort of teal color, which I think is the only color it's sold in. This is a hard plastic. Anything black is rubberized plastic, so it's kind of grippy. And the whole thing is, this is slippery, but the rest of it is nice and grippy. I haven't felt like I want to drop it a lot. But it is entirely plastic. So the overall lifetime of this is I really seriously doubt it's going to match the lifetime of a Craftsman, which may cost a little bit more. From a percentage standpoint, the Craftsman might cost 50% more. And I don't know if this is gonna, last 50% less time than the Craftsman, like whatever. You can get into the math yourself there. As far as the features go, has a built-in lanyard. It's not removable, but obviously it'd be pretty easy to cut this off. And it has it's a self-stopping or whatever they call it. Basically, to retract the blade, the yellow part, you push the button. Sometimes you like a tape measure that stops itself. Other time you want the old school when you pull it out and you push the button down to lock it. Depends how you use it. Either one is fine with me. This one has a nice firm brake. If I push it in, it doesn't go. It's like fully locked. You really do have to push the button down. So that's good. You can obviously pull it out more, but it won't go back in unless you push the button. So it's a solid mechanism there. The button is quite large, but it's a lever. Like it's cantilevered here. You can't push it here. Can't push it here. You really have to push it here. So it takes a little bit of getting used to. Sometimes you'll push it here and then shoots back. Nice. This front piece does everything it's supposed to do with having that little bit of 1/8 inch or so, or 16-inch. I think it's 8. This thing is a 16 thick. It has a 16 of play. That way, if you're pulling, it's accurate. If you're pushing, it's accurate, and all that. I haven't taken it apart yet. It can be taken apart. I doubt that'll ever happen. Has a belt clip, which is definitely underbuilt. My bigger tape measure is like a 25-foot tape measure. Has a nice, sturdy, pretty wide, pretty thick, and like the belt clip on a nicer tape measure will stick out more. This one, you can't really push anything in here, like a work belt or even a pair of, like jeans or whatever. It's kind of hard to get it between here and here. You have to kind of prime it first. And I guess you could pull it out more, but it's a sprung steel, so it doesn't want to stay out. It wants to go back. So they cheaped out on the belt clip, but that's pretty minor in the scheme of things. Yeah, I don't really have too much else to say. Like if you want the absolute cheapest, dollar for dollar tape measure, I haven't seen anything cheaper than this, honestly, and it's doing the job nicely. So sometimes I'd rather have 2 or 3 or 4 tape measures and just have one wherever I need it, as opposed to having, one really nice one. Sometimes you want one great tool, not 4 cheap ones for tape measure. I'd rather have 4 or 5 cheap ones instead of 1 or 2 really good ones. That's why I got a bunch of these. I'm using them, and I have no complaints so far. I'll do a follow-up video if these things start breaking or falling apart.